Hi, my name is Nicole Nageli, and today I have Elizabeth Ito with me.
Hi.
Do you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Elizabeth Ito. I was born and raised in LA, and I worked on the show Adventure Time, and now I just came out with my own show called City of Ghosts.
All right, cool. Here's the icebreaker question. Tell us your favorite quote, but in your own words.
I feel like it's something about like how failure is important, but I don't know like an actual quote about it. I guess like to just go for it, like push yourself to fail, and maybe you won't. I don't know. It's kind of
I like that, or maybe you won't.
yeah.
So, I'm curious to know what role has fear played in your mindset towards art?
Um, I think fear's been like I don't know. I guess it's something that I feel like I experience a fair amount of like hesitation, but my inclination tends to be to not let it stop me from still trying to do it, even if I'm afraid.
That's really cool. Did that take you a while to learn, or was it something you just did from the beginning?
I think it definitely took me a while to learn to do that, but I feel like it was always sort of what I did. Like it's hard to explain, but maybe it's just more like um I tried to like it's not necessarily ignore it, but just like learn how it's like physically manifesting itself like in me. So like I mean because as we're talking about it, I'm thinking about how like I learned how to play piano when I was a kid.
Hmm.
And a good part of that is like learning how to perform like in front of people and to get up on stage. And like for in my case it was like you memorized like a piece and then you were in front of a bunch of people playing it without music in front of you. So I think like all the prep that goes into anything performative, like whether it's that or whether it's like what I do now, um, you sort of have to just train yourself to get past the anxiety that can freeze you up. And that part's like for me, it's just constantly learning because I've I had hoped that at a point that it just evaporates, like you've gotten so good at what you do that you don't experience that anymore. But it's not true. You still experience it, but you get better at learning how to like use it in a way.
I'm curious, dude, would you say that like your levels of fear have stayed the same? Or like how you said you can get over it, but is the level still the same?
I would say probably not. I mean, so like I guess that is like a relief, hopefully, to people who experience the same thing. Um, but like part of it also just might be like you learn to know that you're like that, like you learn that you're like that. You just basically figure out like it's not like as long as you can kind of like meet it, then it won't overtake you, I think.
Oh, that's really interesting. How does fear affect your work? How do you combat it?
Um, so I think I tend to combat it by I don't know, like I'm trying to think what how to describe it, but like I think it's like learning how to figure out what to train my focus on. Like if I can um I mean, the first place that I think like professionally I learned that like it shows up is like for storyboard artists, it's like when you have to pitch a sequence or when you have to pitch an episode that you've done. Because essentially you're standing in front of people, um, sort of like like showing them your drawings and showing them the way that you've planned out a story. And so it's like really similar to like times where I've been in like a class and I've had to ask a question or like present something to a class. And I know that like my voice can get shaky when I get really nervous, or like my hands get really clammy, uh, and my heart gets really like just it feels nervous. But I think it's like somebody had told me once, like, what if it wasn't a bad thing that this was happening to you? Like, what if you looked at it like more as like you're also feeling a certain amount of excitement, like it's not purely negative. And I was like, that's that's probably true. And I feel like sometimes that sort of helped me to focus and to get through it, like to kind of just like yeah, I don't know if it's really embracing it, but it is a little bit of like maybe this whole thing isn't like a negative experience. Maybe it's just like I'm amped up, so I can use a little bit of that adrenaline to like really focus on what I'm trying to say and try it to like drown out the idea that like I'm performing in front of people. It's more that like I'm here trying to communicate something to people. So that calms me down a little bit.
Yeah, it's really interesting. No, I feel the same way. I had to do that when I was first started public speaking and acting and stuff. It really like for me, it my throat literally like closes up and clenches like that. I had to learn the same thing that maybe how to transfer all that energy and nervousness into just pure excitement. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bye.